it looked like steps forward for a few players. Protas was out there in a regular jersey, and Alexei had a bubble, was able to smile through the missing teeth. What's the status of those guys?
You'll find out tonight. No real update on either guy.
Sure. Yeah, the piece yesterday in the Players reading about how much Washington means to him. He's a competitive guy describing himself as that. Just how much do you see him stepping up these rounds? And what does it mean to him to be?
Yeah, I haven't read the article yet. I saw that I saw it come across our media stuff, but as far as Stromer, I mean, he's found a home here in Washington, and he's done a tremendous job in my time here, not only with his game, how much it's grown, and how he's become a top centerman in the National Hockey League, but just also his personality, his leadership skills. He's become a massive part of our team, and he has a bunch of different qualities, and one being specifically to what you talked about is he's a very, very, which sometimes people don't get that, because when you're around him, he doesn't come off as an intense competitor, but he certainly is, and wants to win so badly and wants to do well, and is always in a pursuit of getting better, and he's got such a high individual motivation level for himself. So was glad that we were able to get him, and now Washington is home for him, and hopefully he's here for a long, long time and ends his career.
What do you mean of Brian Leonard in his first games, especially now as he's adjusting to the playoffs?
I thought his first game in the playoffs was good. I thought he was did a lot of good things with his opportunity. I think for a young player to play in their first NHL playoff game can be daunting, can be nerve-wracking, and I thought he handled it real well. He's been on a journey now over the last month, having played in the, since his season ended at Boston College, played in his first NHL game, played in some road games, played in O's record-chasing games. So there was a lot. He's been through a lot, and I think he's, the game and the NHL, it's such a tough league, and for guys to step in this time of year is not an easy thing to do at all. At 25 years old and at 20 years old, the age he's at. So he's earned his opportunity inside of our lineup, and he's earned the opportunity to be out there with our guys, and I just expect him only to get better and better and better and better, even as games go by, to your point of just getting more experience and feeling more comfortable.
Tom?
How do you think the matchup with Suzuki's going when game one they did get the tying goal, they had some chances, but how do you guys
Thought it was okay. I mean, their numbers are high, and I will say this too, going back through the game. So the narrative is this: two things with Suzuki's line as a significant advantage, expected goals wise, and then also the third period looks like a very lopsided period as well for Montreal. If you go back through the film, our third period, the first 10 minutes was excellent. We get the first 5 chances of that period, so we outchance them 5-0. I think through the first maybe 8 minutes of the period. So we're going. The penalty and the goal thereafter changes the momentum in the game, which can happen in the playoffs. The margins are thin, and that one shift that they score makes their numbers go through the roof. I think they had maybe 8 or 9 shot attempts in that one sequence, and then they get 4, I think, grade A's in that one sequence. So, you take that one shift out of there. Now it's a big shift. They score there. They generate a ton of activity at our net. They have 2 lines hemmed. And if you look too, it's what I talked about the other day, is something that we are going to have to get comfortable with, is them playing. That line plays long shifts. Those guys have engines, and what I mean by that is they played through 2 lines in that shift. So it goes from 45 seconds, whoever's out against them, Dowd's line, Dubois' line. So Doobie's already changed by then, and now you got other people coming on, and they're still countering and going quick up and able to sustain that pace of play. So it's something that we have to be aware of. If they're going to take a minute 20 shifts with their top line, is we have to be able to stay dialed in with multiple lines, not just one line that's going to be able to match up and handle them. And I thought that played a role in that sequence there in the third period that ties the game.
We talked a lot about Marty yesterday, and one of the things that stands out about him is he's sixth in the league among all defensemen in shorthanded ice time. Just wondering your thoughts on using Sandin and or Alexeyev to fill in for him on the left side. I know Al's averaged only about 45 seconds or so over the course of his career, but I'm guessing he's probably been on meetings and such.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think – I know he can do it, and we can put him in those situations if need be, but I think the more of the workload penalty kill-wise will rest on Matt Roy, Sandin, Trevor Van Riemsdyk. John obviously already plays significant amount of minutes in that role. I think it will be shared amongst those guys. Not to say that Al won't get out there and get an opportunity to do it, but I think this will now bump Matt Roy to where now he's all of a sudden first over the boards, as Marty was before. So two righties, which changes the mix a little bit, but something that Matt Roy is absolutely capable of excelling in that role without a doubt.
Coach Jacob Chikrin, who obviously his dad played in the NHL. When you have guys like that, can you tell that? Can you tell in a guy like Chikrin that he had lessons that he learned from his dad, from the experience that is a very unique being the son of a former player?
It's a tough question. I don't know. I would say no, and not that they don't have great brains for the game. I'm thinking of Dubois. I'm thinking about Riley Sutter and Hershey, the Sutter family, coaching them. Like, do you meet them and know immediately that he's a Sutter? And no. But as you get to know them and you hear about their past and growing up around an NHL locker room and being at the rink, I think that's where you sort of learn about them of how they just grew up in a hockey life, and it was who they were, and they moved around cities and they followed their dad's careers. So I think that's more of it from the brain and intuitiveness of the game and reading the game and being a student of the game. I think that's – I've had many players that parents were – who am I going to quote? Jeremy Lauzon, French player. But I think both of his parents were doctors and had nothing to do with hockey, and that always stuck out to me as but he was a very intuitive player, smart, so I don't see really a correlation.
Last question, Joby.
Spencer, Montreal's top line, Suzuki, Caulfield, get the lion's share of the credit. In what way does Slafkovsky open things up for them? How does he contribute?
Yeah. I think he's just a really good complement to the other skill sets of Cole and Nick. And that's about a good line. I feel like checks those boxes. It has a good balance and blend of playmaking, skill, poise with the puck. Then usually you've got a good shooter, someone that can get to spots and get available, and then someone that is maybe a little bit bigger and goes to the net front and can retrieve pucks and can be really good on the forecheck and can use his body to protect pucks. So the things I just described, Cole Caulfield, incredible shooter, one of the best we have in the game. Nick Suzuki, playmaker, distributor, intelligent, 200-foot game. So it fits very, very well, and you can see why they're one of the top lines in the NHL. So, yeah, you go around the league and you look at some of the most successful 5-on-5 lines out there. Usually they've got some healthy balance of those qualities that those guys have. Thanks.